Hello everyone, this is Swati Jaiswal, a student of University of Perpetual Health System Delta, and today I am going to do physical examination of thorax and lungs. For that, we have to keep some basic things in our mind. To examine thorax and lungs, we always ask our patient to sit for the posterior examination, and for the anterior thorax and lung examination, we'll ask the patient to be in supine position. Now, examination will follow in certain manner. First, inspection. Second will be palpation. Third will be percussion. And fourth is going to be our auscultation. Hi. So, do you have any breathing problem or anything like that?
No.
So, we will proceed with your physical examination of thorax and lungs. For that, I'll ask you to remove your upper clothes. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed with the examination. Start with inspection. For inspection, we'll observe the rate, rhythm, and depth and effort of the breathing. Now, a healthy person, resting adult, breathes quietly and regularly about 14 to 20 times a minute. Now, I'm going to listen the patient's breathing for any available wheezing sound. Now, I'm going to inspect the neck, namely the sternomalot and splenic muscles, which are involved in inspiration. For that, I am going to ask the patient for deep inspiration. With the palpation, for this we'll ask our patient to fold his arms across the chest so that there will be increased access to lung field. Now we are going to palpate the tender areas. Now I am going to palpate any area where the pain has been reported. Assess any visible abnormalities such as masses or sinus tracts. Now we are going to test the chest expansion. For that, I am going to place my thumb at the level of 10th ribs and finger loosely grasping and parallel to lateral ribs. After positioning, now I'll slide my hand medially just enough to raise a loose fold of skin, and then I'm going to ask the patient to inhale deeply and feel the range and symmetry of the rib cage as it expands and contracts. After that, for tactile extremities, I am going to use bony parts of my palm and ask the patient to repeat 99 and palpate and compare symmetric areas of the lungs.
99. फिर बोला है 99. 99.
Proceed with percussion. Percussion helps to understand the underlying tissues are air filled, fluid filled, or solid. Hyperextend the middle finger of the left hand. Press its distal interpharyngeal joint firmly on the surface to be percussed. Avoid contact with any other part. Position right forearm close to the surface. The middle finger of the right hand should be partially flexed and relaxed and positioned to be strike. With a quick, sharp, but relaxed wrist motion, we are going to strike the middle finger of the right hand to the middle finger of the left hand. Use the tip of the middle finger and withdraw your striking finger quickly to avoid damping of the vibration we have created. A thick chest wall requires stronger percussion than a thin chest wall. Now, to identify the descent of diaphragm, first we determine the level of diaphragmatic dullness during quiet respiration, holding the proximeter finger above and parallel to the expected level of dullness. Percuss downward in progressive step unless dullness clearly replaces the resonance. Now let's proceed with auscultation. Auscultation is the most important examination technique for assessing airflow through the tracheobronchial tree. For auscultation, we are going to listen the breath sound with the diaphragm of the stethoscope after instructing the patient to breathe deeply through the open mouth. Now, we are going to use the ladder pattern suggested for percussion, moving from one side to other and comparing symmetric areas of the lungs. If you hear or suspect any abnormal sound, auscultate adjacent area to assess and extend to abnormality. Now, intensity of breathing sound, which reflects airflow rate at the mouth. Breathe sounds are usually louder in the lower posterior lung field. Proceed with the anterior chest, in which we will first proceed with inspection. We'll see the shape of patient chest and movement of the chest wall. Proceed to palpation. For palpation, we are going to palpate the tender areas, look for any tender areas. Then we are going to assess if there is any kind of abnormalities in the anterior chest. Going to focus the anterior and lateral chest, again comparing both the sides. The heart normally produces an area of dullness to the left sternum from the third and fifth interspace. With the plaximeter finger above the parallel to the expected upper border of the liver dullness, focus the progressive steps downward the right medicular line. Identify the upper border of liver dullness. Later, during the abdominal examination, you will use the method to estimate the size of the liver. As we focus down the chest on the left, the resonance of the normal lung usually changes to the timpani of gastric air bubble. With auscultation, listen to the chest anteriorly and lateral as the patient breathes with mouth open and somewhat more deeply than normal. Compare symmetry areas of the lungs using patterns suggested for percussion and extending it to the adjacent areas if indicated. Listen to the breathing sounds, noting their intensity and identifying any variation from normal muscular breathing. Identify any adventitious sound. If there is any adventitious sound, listen for the transmitted voice sound.